I said, sure. That's how I'm gonna start doing your voice now, because now you're really getting on my nerves.
Is that enough?
Apologies. I had to gather myself. I will try to continue. So I gave in because I felt sorry. We stayed in our village for about 3 months before we found another school. This time was different. I came back over with depression, but I didn't know it was depression. I thought I just didn't give a fuck. I remember what was said about my body the last go round, so this time I wanted to prevent that. I'm more guarded. I bought an oversized navy blue sweatshirt and some oversized navy blue joggers. I wore that exact same outfit every single day for months, with some brown boots that had holes in them. I was a shell of myself. So you went from looking like a baddie to wearing the same oversized blue tracksuit and holy brown blood clot boots. Okay, I didn't want my figure to show at all. Just like last time. Though even though I was heavily clothed, hair not done, no makeup, I was looking a hot mess, people were still inquiring about me. Sorry. We're at a whole new school. Sasha stated that she didn't care anymore. She's used to me getting all the attention. I said I didn't know you cared in the first place. She told me she is insecure and she has been dealing with it for a long time, and the only person who knew was her mum. I felt bad for her because she also mentioned that she also mentions that we have been there for 3 years and no one asks about her or for her number or to even date her, and people approaching me every day, and that she doesn't understand why, because I didn't look approachable. Clearly you did. That's why people are approaching you. Duh. I started to feel sick yet again. And we're now in a rural town with no town transportation, and the closest clinic is 20 minutes away. I found someone on campus that would take me if I gave him gas money. So I went, and guess what? New town, new hospital, and same news. Nothing is wrong with me. Just stress, they say. I'm now getting used to the new college and I want to be more active. So I started going to the games, and I meet this girl at the basketball game. Prettiest chocolate person I've ever seen to this day. And she was a fashion girly. She walked over to me and introduced herself and said, "You're the girl that does hair." I said, "Yes." She told me I was pretty and she saw me around but didn't know what to say. We exchanged numbers and that was that. We started going to all the school events together. Sasha hated her. One day she asked me, was there a reason why I wore the same outfit every day? She asked me, was there a reason I wore the same outfit every day? I said to hide my shape and to draw less attention to myself. She said, let's dress up at the next game. So I said, okay. She asked me what my Instagram was and I let her know I didn't have one. When I got home, I opened my suitcase, picked out an outfit and did my makeup. Sasha said, where are you going? I said, to the basketball game. Then she said, why do you have to put on makeup to go to the basketball game? I paid her no mind. She then asked me to do her makeup and her hair because she wanted to go as well. And I did. When we got to the game, I saw my chocolate friend and I smiled at her and waved, and she looked straight past me and didn't wave back. Sasha started laughing. So I yelled, chocolate friend! And she screamed, no way. There is no way. She didn't recognize me. Tess, is that you? And I said, yeah, you see the material? She said, even with the baggy clothing, you were fine. But sheesh, friend. People came up to me that night asking who did my makeup. I let them know it was me and we exchanged numbers. I also let them know I did hair, and I got a lot of clientele from that night and was happy I went. After that night, I threw my baggy clothing away and decided to be myself. Yes! Since everything was far away, I was about to get a car. Sasha told me not to, and she was about to get a car. That having 2 separate cars didn't make any sense since we live together and we go to the same places and hang around the same people. We can just use her car as long as I give her gas money. I said, okay, cool. I'm a homebody anyway, but I pop out from time to time. We ended up forming a group of friends and we had a nice little girl group going. I started doing more hair and makeup because the clientele was growing pretty fast. Sasha worked at a restaurant and the other 2 girls worked on campus. So now that we were making decent money and Sasha got a car, we decided that for everyone's birthday, we should go to the mall and take them on a shopping spree. And then afterwards, we can go eat at a nice restaurant. So it started with one of the girls. We went to the mall. She got $300 worth of clothes and we split the bill. Me, Sasha, and chocolate. And then we have dinner. Next up, Sasha's birthday. We go to the mall, shopping spree. I also don't remember how much it was, but we split the bill. Me, chocolate, and the other friend. Then we went to dinner. So next up is Chocolate's birthday. We go to the mall, take her on a shopping spree. I don't remember how much her bill was, but we split it. Me, Sasha, and the other friend. Then we went to dinner. My birthday is at the end of the year. So we got some months in between. One day, classes got cancelled, so Chocolate texted me to hang out at her place. I go over there and there are a few other girls there, so we introduce ourselves and we get to chatting it up. One of the girls asked me if I was single and I told her yes, and I've never been in a relationship before. They asked me if I was still a virgin and I said yes. Then she asked, is it because what happened to you in your childhood? I had this confused look on my face like, what the F you talking about? I just met you. And this girl told me detail for detail, bar for bar, about my childhood trauma. I asked, in full embarrassment, who told you that? She never said who told her. She apologized and said she didn't know that I didn't want to talk about it and that everyone on campus knew. At that point in my life, I only told 2 people, Chocolate and Sasha. I automatically thought it was Chocolate because I'm thinking Sasha would never. I went back home, told Sasha what happened. She immediately denied it being her and said it was Chocolate. So I slowly cut ties with Chocolate. Now it's my turn for the birthday shenanigans. I wake up my birthday morning, Sasha is gone, I think nothing of it. We're college students, she's probably in class. I go through my messages, responded to all the happy birthday texts, and sorry, I'm emotional, not over the story. I'm emotional at how frustrating everything is frustrating me right now. I've just gone to clear my memory card again for the 3rd time. I don't understand why this video is taking up the storage of 3 memory cards. This story is too long and I'm never doing this again. I'm never doing this again because not only is the story very, very long, I'm struggling to read it because there's not much punctuation in it. So I'm trying to figure it out. The story is traumatic and it's not a nice story and it's triggering me. It's making me feel emotions, not nice emotions. A lot's going on right now. Please bear with me. I want to finish it because I've spent so long on this video. I've been actually trying to film this so far for 4 hours and I'm not finished. I've been filming this video for 4 hours. This is why I'm emotional and this is why I'm crying. So if you're thinking, what the hell's wrong with you? Yeah, I've been trying to film this one video for 4 hours. Like, comment, and blood clot, subscribe. What the? Now it's my turn for the birthday shenanigans. I wake up my birthday morning, Sasha is gone. I think nothing of it. We're college students, she's probably in class. See, this is what I mean. Like, the reason why I even said she's probably in class, because there's an exclamation point. There's a lot of exclamation points on this story. So when I'm like shouting and the way I'm reading it, I'm trying to read it as it's written so it can be a good story, you know? So yeah, she's probably in class. I go through my messages, responded to all the happy birthday text. I know the last class of the day ends at 5. So 5:30 comes, I haven't like... Why is there so many exclamation points? Now I'm getting like irritated. Now as I'm trying to get through the story, now I'm starting to get irritated. I know the last class of the day ends at 5, so 5:30 comes, I haven't heard from Sasha or Chocolate. The other friend came by and braided my hair earlier that morning as a birthday gift. 7 p.m. and no one. 8, no one. Around 8:30 p.m, I hear the door open. Sasha and Chocolate. Sasha hands me a birthday card that says, I'm sorry I'm broke, all I could afford was this card. Chocolate was standing behind the door, never entered. I said, is this what I gave to y'all? Y'all can't be serious. Sasha left to call her mum and gave her the usual rundown and made herself out to be the victim, yet again. She explained it was Chocolate's idea and that Chocolate told her that's what I wanted. Fast forward, we're 1 year at the new college and I get a letter in the mail letting me know that I qualify for spring graduation. My mouth dropped because... what the F, I just got here. But when summer break came, I went to summer school instead of going back home and I was piling up on the credits that helped me out a lot. I told Sasha and she started crying. I said, girl, what's wrong with you? And she said, you're going to leave me. And I said, yes, that was the point of us going to college. She asked me to wait on her to graduate so that we can move together. I said, together? This was supposed to be where we end. Was that not the purpose? One of the girls in the basketball team also found out that she was graduating that same semester and invited me and Chocolate out to her final game and to take pictures. Even though Chocolate and I didn't speak with each other as much, no one knew because we were still cordial in group settings. So we go to the game and Sasha comes as well. The basketball friend invites us to the back to take pictures. They had a professional photographer. Chocolate took group pics with the whole team first, then I took group pics with the whole team. After they were done, the girls headed to the front because their game was about to start, and the boys huddled up to take their photos. Me, Chocolate and Sasha was about to walk off to watch the game, and then one of the guys called me. Wait up, Tess. We want you on our pick. I saw the look on Sasha's face and I said, no, the girls' game is about to start. I don't want to miss it. But after the game, I got you. We get seated and Sasha said, all you like is attention. That's all you like. Chocolate huffed and said, I can't wait for the day your common sense kicks in, Tess. After that night, we head home. We all lived in the same apartment complex. It was legit across the street from the school, for context. I only had one class the next morning and I was braiding for the rest of the day. Sasha had her own friend group and she was usually with them, so she was out most of the time. The last class was around 5. She would usually stop by to get food and head back out if need be. She didn't, but I paid it no mind, she's grown. It's now 12 midnight and I'm a little concerned. I called her phone, no answer. I called her friends, no one seen her. She was not with them. So I asked one of her good friends in particular to help me. We called around to the local hospitals to see if she was there, thinking maybe she got into an accident. Nope, not there. Around 3 a.m, I got a call from this friend to let me know Sasha was in jail. My heart dropped to the floor. Not only was she in jail, she was in there with Joshua. At this point, I only spoke to Joshua here and there. He was back and forth between states and places. I didn't know how jail worked exactly, and I didn't have a car to get there. So I go over to Chocolate's place asking for some help. She called one of her friends to take me up there. The lady at the front desk in the jail told me to come back at 12 p.m. for her hearing and that I would have to pay bail for her to get out. I automatically thought the bail was going to be $100,000. I didn't know better. So I contacted one of her friends to see if she would help me pay. And she told me no. She didn't ask how much. She just said no. I go back down to the court to be there for 12. I asked someone from church to take me this time. For her hearing, the bondsman was there and let me know that it was only $300 to bail them out. I was relieved. He asked me if I was also paying for Joshua's bail, but Chocolate ended up coming through and bailing him out. On the report, it stated they got arrested for stealing grapes and a futon from Walmart. As soon as we got them out, she called her mum to let her know what had happened, and the only thing her mum asked was, where was Tess? She replied, at home! Her mum was screaming so loud you could hear her through the phone, and it wasn't on speakerphone. Her mum said, that was supposed to be Tess. How Tess was not in there with y'all? I said under my breath, how is it supposed to be me? Because I don't steal, and I'm definitely not stealing grapes and a futon. So I asked Sasha what happened. She blamed it all on Joshua, said he was the one that did it. She was sitting on a bench in Walmart and they arrested both of them because they walked in together. I believed her. Fast forward, I graduate. I'm on cloud 9. I got my first big girl job at a law firm. So now that more money is coming in, we moved to a nicer spot. I worked under 6 attorneys and one of the attorneys there started making inappropriate comments about my body and loaded me up with so much of his work, I could barely complete the work. I got assigned from the others. I was overwhelmed. Sasha knew what was going on and I was still telling her everything at this point. And she told me to quit. Her mum also called me, pretending to be concerned, told me to quit as well. I was stressed out from the workload, so that's exactly what I did. Sasha came back to tell me about this place she was hiring, and she filled out an application for me and that I had an interview with them. She filled out for me to do janitorial duties. I did not know that until I got there. But when I went to the interview, they gave me the vault position instead, and I ended up getting a promotion pretty quickly. I worked in the vault and I counted stacks of money all day. I loved it. I told Sasha and she seemed genuinely happy for me. I was still braiding hair and doing makeup. I enjoyed doing it and I was making good money doing that as well. My bag was bagging. Bank account overflowing. So I'm stacking, like my life depended on it. I paid my bills and that was it. I didn't go shopping, nothing. One night, Sasha invited some of her friends at the house for a game night. We were all at the table playing cards. One of her guy friends that I was already familiar with asked me what I was doing with my money. I said, huh? He said, you basically have 3 jobs. You don't go anywhere. What are you spending your money on? I didn't answer him back because, sir, that is none of your business. Then he asked me to borrow some money and that he will pay me back in a few weeks when he got paid. I had a lot of cash on me because that's how my clients paid me. So I gave him what he asked for. Exclamation point. A few weeks went by and I didn't hear from him. So I asked Sasha to message him so that I can get my money back. And she got mad and told me that I didn't even need the money, that I was being tacky for asking for the money back. I said, well, tacky is what I'll be. Let him know I want my money. Weeks go by, nothing. Then he shows up at the house and I said, hey, when am I going to get my money back? He said, oh, you really don't need that. And they all started laughing. I said, no, I want my money back just as fast as you took it from me. Hand it back with the same urgency. They leave and Sasha comes back later, opens my room door and throws the money at me. It wasn't 30% of what he owed me, but whatever. Her and the guy go in the bathroom to smoke. While I'm in the bedroom, bawling my eyes out, I wonder, how did I let myself get to such a low place? Fast forward, Sasha graduates and got a job in healthcare, doing really good. So now I'm thinking she's doing good and I'm doing good, we can part ways. So I go get my driver's license and I'm excited. Now I'm getting ready to buy a car. So I told her I'm going to go get my own car this time and I want to get my own spot as well. She never responded. There was a place right across the street from where we lived that was renting out units. I went over there to look around and they gave me one of their pamphlets. I rested on the table. I started making friends from work. One lady lived in the same area, so she started picking me up. So I go to take a shower to head to work. Sasha busts open the bathroom door and pushed me in the tub. Sasha busts in the bathroom and pushed me in the tub. I tried to push her back, but she didn't budge. I said, "What's wrong with you?" She said, "How are you moving?" I said, "I want my own place, so when this lease ends, I'm ready, it's time." She started yelling, "You wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for me. If I never told you to come to school out here, you wouldn't have nothing. You wouldn't be nothing. That job you have now is because of me. I hate you. I've never liked you." Then she calls her mom and everyone, and she's the victim and I'm the villain again. And guess what? I get sick again. She came back a few hours later crying like always and saying she's sorry, and she suggested we move to the city instead of me getting my own spot. Maybe moving to a big city is what we need. You don't have to move out. Please don't move out. I'm still sick, but this time was different. I lost a lot of weight. Imagine going from 150 pounds to 90 pounds in less than a month. And my left leg was bigger than my whole body. I go to the hospital again. Nothing is wrong. And my leg is swollen really bad, so the doctor shifted their focus to my legs. They gave me antibiotics and the swelling went down overnight. We moved to the city and I was struggling to find a job within my degree. All the corporate jobs wanted me to email my resume and credentials over, and the process takes a while and I needed a job now. I don't have clientele in the area as yet, so I started looking for jobs that had nothing to do with corporate America and I applied at Hooters. I told Sasha and she said she would take me to the interview. Sasha was in Hooters with me while I was being interviewed and it was really odd, but the interviewer allowed her to stay. She legit sat at the table right beside me, skin to skin, while I was being interviewed. They handed me the outfit, I try it on, and then I got hired on the spot. As soon as the interview was over, we walked out and got in the car. Sasha started crying and had a complete meltdown in the parking lot. Before I got to ask what was wrong, she burst out, "You always get what you want. You don't even have to try. That lady was about to hire you before you opened your mouth. It's not fair." She called her mum to tell her what happened. I felt bad, so I did not take the job. And I continued to look around. We're now in a new town. Sorry guys, had to clear the memory card again. If I have to clear this memory card one more time, I promise you the video is not ending. This has been the wildest video I've probably ever posted. But I promise you, let this one more time, it's not getting finished. We're now in a new town and I don't know where anything is and I don't know anyone. I'm completely isolated. I continue looking for a job and I found one at a boutique that paid really well. And I enjoyed working from there. And I ended up connected with the same woman who came in and started to build clientele for braiding hair there. I worked and came home and I never went out. I just worked and came home, cooked and cleaned. Sasha friends would come over, smoke, drink and leave the place messy. I would always clean up behind them because I love to clean home. We never furnished this place because Sasha never wanted to chip in with the furniture. So I bought a Dainá table and that was all we had in the living room. The only time she would speak to me was when she wanted to do her hair or her makeup. She never paid me for the services and I didn't think nothing of it because I was under the impressions friends and family weren't supposed to pay. Her friends and family were coming over so much and not cleaning up after themselves. I got tired of it, but I didn't complain. I just stopped cleaning up their mess. The trash was piling up. My home looked like a junkie's place. I fell into a deep, dark depression and started to have suicidal thoughts. I had no one to talk to about anything. I felt isolated and alone. So one day I opened up to Sasha about my depression and that I felt suicidal. And she told me she never dealt with anything like that, so she doesn't care. And Joshua was there and told him what I told her, and he responded in an annoyed tone, "What are you telling us for? Go tell God your problems." They both laughed and walked off. Sasha came in my room a while later and told me that I should commit suicide and that when I was done, she would call the police to come and take my body. That same day, I attempted suicide. It was a failed attempt. I scrolled through her Facebook later that night and Sasha posted, "Check on your strong friends. You never know what someone is going through." Another post, "If I was ever the toxic person in your life, I'm sorry," with a sad emoji. I was so confused because didn't you just tell me to off myself? Her post went viral. I was falling deeper and deeper into depression. I started to drink heavily and I started smoking with Sasha. Then Sasha and Joshua mentioned they liked me more when I was drunk. During our smoke session, Sasha did this thing where she blew smoke in my face. The way she did it was really weird. I can't describe it. So I said, stop blowing your smoke in my face. When I said that, both her and Joshua looked at each other with a look of disappointment. I left the smoke session and went to bed thinking maybe I'm just high and I'm tweaking. One night we all went to the club. I was drunk but not out of my mind. I still remember everything vividly. I threw up in the club bathroom and security was watching me. They said if I went outside I would have gotten arrested for public intoxication. He then replied, "You're too pretty for jail," and let us go through the back door. Joshua was driving and Sasha and I was in the back seat. She pushes my head down on her lap and started kissing me on my cheek. She wasn't drinking at all, she was sober. I pushed her face with my hands and said, "Why are you kissing me? Stop kissing me." She said, "No, this is the only thing to calm you down." I was not irate. In my head, I'm screaming, "God help me, she's bigger than me, so I can't move." And immediately we get pulled over. Sasha releases me and I sit up. Joshua is sober, so we're good. We get back to the house, I go straight up to my room and I close the door. Sasha busted in my room and told me to take off my clothes. I said no. She keeps begging me to take off my clothes. She said because I still had vomit on them. I said no, I'll take them off when you get out my room. She said no, take them off now. I put my sheet over me and then I changed my clothes. I looked at her and said, "I'm tipsy, not drunk. Get out my room." When I got up, she asked me if I remembered anything from last night. I lied and I said no. I remembered everything. She told me this elaborate story of me being so drunk I grabbed a white girl by the hair and started fighting her. And Joshua was right there co-signing the lie. She then started calling her family members up and her friends and telling them how I caused them to get pulled over and that she was traumatized. I asked her, why does she keep telling that story? She said because she is now traumatized by me. She kept telling that story to everyone over and over, but conveniently left out her kissing on me and me telling her to stop and her telling me to take my clothes off over and over, and I never drank again after that night. I started getting sick again. At this point, I got tired of feeling sick mentally, physically, so I tried out a vegan diet. I thought maybe it would work for me. I started making my own meals, going grocery shopping on my own, getting out of the house and doing healthy activities. I gained all the weight back and I was feeling a lot better, so I automatically thought it was due to poor dieting. I looked great. I went to Walmart and I bought locks for my door because her friends were in and out and I wanted privacy and security. Soon as I put the locks on my door, she called her mum. A few weeks later, her mum came into town. Soon as she walked through the house door, she came by my bedroom door and aggressively started twisting the doorknob and yelled, "Village girls are the only group of people that can't get along and live together." She stayed two weeks and harassed me the entire time. I stopped smoking, but I was overly stressed, so I asked Sasha for some. She gave me a gummy and she was rubbing it when she gave it to me. I could see her mum looking at me with an evil grin, and Sasha also looked weird, but I just wanted to escape reality. I went into my room, locked the door and took the gummy. Immediately after taking it, my eyes rolled back to the back of my head and I blacked out completely. I was passed out for I don't know how long. When I came out of it, I couldn't speak. I couldn't walk, I couldn't read, I couldn't write. I had no control of my body. I was just lying on the floor, basically in a vegetated state. A few more hours passed by and I started getting the feeling back in my legs, yet I was still not able to fully control my body. I don't know what took over me, but I managed to open the bedroom door. I stood in the middle of the living room and I started screaming, "Thank you, Jesus!" I said, "These people want you dead. They are jealous of you. They want you to take you back to your village, laced up, out of your mind. But that's not going to happen. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are going to succeed." Then I started repeatedly screaming, "They're jealous of you. They're jealous of you." And I blacked out again. Sasha's mum started throwing things at me while I was going on, like it was some type of exorcism. I was not in full control of myself, so all I could do was let it happen. When I came back to full consciousness, I went to my room in shock. Like, what the fuck just happened? Sasha knocked on my door and said, "You just caught the Holy Spirit," with a guilty look on her face. And she said, "When you mentioned something about jealousy, I think the spirit was referring to my little sisters." She has twin sisters. Trying to tell me it was her little sisters that were jealous of each other. And she asked me not to tell anybody in my family about what happened to me. I was overly spooked and didn't want to talk about it at all because what the F just happened to me? Her and her family went out the next day and her mum broke her legs ice skating. Brother, what is this story? Now Sasha's mum broke her legs ice skating. Fast forward, the year is now 2019 and everyone got word of the pandemic. I have a pretty healthy savings account, so I wasn't worried about money. I was always home and I always worked multiple jobs, so I wasn't spending, just stacking. And Sasha had an essential job, so she stayed working. My job also didn't close down for a while. So I made dinner one night and I went to call Sasha to tell her the food was ready. I go knock on the door and I hear her on the phone with one of her friends that she just met, talking crap about me yet again. I better not ask her for $1 and that she hopes I have my money when it's time to pay these bills since we're going to be in lockdown. I'm like, what the fuck? I've always paid my bills and on time at that. What is she talking about? I stayed to the door for a while and she was on the phone with a person she just met, insulting me. I walked back to my room. A few minutes later, she knocked on my door, smiling. She said, "Is the food ready?" I smiled back and said, "Yes." I never allowed anyone to treat me crazy, not even family, but I kept giving Sasha pass after pass. Why? Yeah, tell me why. Hurry up, because you're taking too long now. Why? So now we're creeping into 2020 and my job shuts down and everything else was being shut down. The store I was working at only stayed closed for a few days. They called us back in and we were deep cleaning the store. So we only worked in the store for a few hours that day. But I was happy because I did have a job. Since we're in the pandemic, I realized this was the first time in 9 years that I had time to myself with my own thoughts. This was the first time I thought my own thoughts with no interruptions, no one inserting their opinions. That's when I realized I couldn't formulate my own thoughts. I couldn't and never thought for myself. I knew nothing about myself, what I liked, what I didn't like. I couldn't tell you nothing about me. So I bought a laptop and this was my first laptop. Then I went to buy an upgraded iPhone and she suggested I get a Galaxy. And I said, no, I want the iPhone. I ended up getting the iPhone 11 Pro Max and she couldn't hide her jealousy. She said it was the worst phone Apple has ever come out with and it didn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. She asked me to give her my new phone number. I said, no. I bought my phone cash, no monthly plan, and she got mad at me for that as well. But whatever. Later that day, she bought me some food and I told her I wasn't hungry and she started crying. I went out of my way to get this food for you and you don't even want it. You are so hard to please. I'm looking like, what the fuck? I said, okay, and ate the food. Next day, I'm sick again. No worries. At this point, I know how to nurse myself back into health. I got this. She kept asking me to give her my new number, so I ended up giving it to her. Now that I got this new phone and almost everything is on lockdown, I finally made an Instagram account and I posted. My first post went viral and my phone started ringing off the hook. We were at the dining table and some of her friends came over and my phone was rocking. Ping, ping, ping. She said, turn your notifications off, that's so annoying. I said, I didn't know you can do that. How do you do that? She said, you got a phone and you don't know how to work it. She grabbed my phone and went on my Instagram and scrolled through the followers and said, look, all men, not one woman follows you. Shocker. Since I now had a laptop and a lot of free time, I started watching a lot of YouTube videos. I ended up seeing a lot of romanticized videos of women giving themselves the things they wanted, and I was inspired. I watched one video of a lady talking about her healing journey in therapy. I didn't know I needed therapy, but I had a lot of childhood things built up and I wanted to release it and heal. Anyway, so I called up a therapist and I made an appointment. As soon as I get there, we deep dived into everything and I was descriptive. I brought up the things that got buried to the back of my mind. She navigated me through it and brought a lot of clarity. She managed to shift the conversation to where I was now in life. She mentioned that my legs swelling up out of the blue and hair falling out wasn't normal. She suggested that I do something that I liked and not tell anyone where I was going or what I was doing. So I did. I went and I got my nails done. It was amazing. When I got home, Sasha asked me, where did you go? To which I responded, living my best life. I started spending money on myself. I started going out to get my nails done, hair done, lashes done, everything. At this point, I'm 28 years old and I spent my entire 20s people pleasing, stuck inside. I was over it. One of Sasha's friends came over and she spends the night. The same friend ended up staying there for a while. Sasha never mentioned anything, so I asked, does your friend have a place to stay or is she going to be staying with us? Sasha got mad and said, my friend is in my room. It doesn't matter if she has a place or not. I headed to work like normal. Before I clocked in, I prayed, Lord, please remove anybody from my life that does not mean me well. I sent a text to Sasha when I was on my lunch break asking her if one of the friends would be interested in taking over my half of the lease. She immediately replied, no. She asked if she did something wrong. I responded, no. I'm honestly ready to have my own place. When I came from work, I saw Sasha packing up her stuff saying she's leaving and that I needed her, she didn't need me. I said, okay. She ended up moving in with Joshua. Our lease wasn't up as of yet, but I didn't say anything. I was just ready. I've wasted my 20s dealing with this nonsense. I'm about to be 29 now in a few months. I didn't want my whole 20s to be stress related. The light bill was in her name at the time. She mentioned she was going to leave it in her name until the lease was up. I said, okay. But she turned it off that same day. I didn't know until the bill came in that I was using the apartment's energy. The apartment waived the charges for me, so I wasn't tripping. During all of this, Sasha is texting me like normal. Fast forward, I'm moving to my own place. I had no plans on telling Sasha where I was, but she insisted. I didn't have a car and she told me she wanted to help me move. I packed my stuff up in her car and we sit in front of my new place for a while. She tells me how good of a friend I was to her and how I was so easy to live with and how strong of a person I was. She then asks if I wanted to move to Atlanta with her. More opportunities. I quickly cut her off from talking and said, no! I said, no matter where I live in this world, it would not be with you. I said, it doesn't matter what I have going on in my life. I would not step one foot in your home from this day forth. I said, you wouldn't know a thing that involves me. When I start dating for real, you would not see as much as that man's baby toe. I said, and if I ever have children, I don't care what state you're in, what country you're in, I'm putting a restraining order on you. You and your family have done enough. Well done. I'm glad you got to that point. Let's clap for that part. She got to the point of cussing her out. It should have come with a thump, but I moved into a luxury apartment and we started unpacking her car. As soon as Sasha walked in, she said, this is what they're calling luxury. This ain't no luxury apartment. Look at the blinds. She said, I'll show you what a luxury apartment looks like when I get my place. I said, okay. She needs to use the bathroom, so she asked to use the bathroom. I was in the living room. There was no sound coming from the bathroom. The toilet didn't flush. The water didn't run. Nothing. So what the hell are you doing in my bathroom? Soon as she left, I went in the bathroom and I disinfect everything. My intuition told me to throw away my toothbrush, and I did. So I'm all moved in and she calls me outside and said she wanted to pray over my new place. I said, okay. You said okay for what? A week later, she sent me pictures of her new place and it was beautiful. The nicest apartment I've seen thus far. She told me that they had a lot more units and it was fairly new. She didn't move in as of yet, but told me to go and let the leasing lady give me a tour. I did. Sasha said, are you going to move here? You can still have your own space. I said, yeah, when my lease is up. I knew I wasn't, but that's what I told her. I'm thinking since we don't live together, there should be no longer any problems and I won't be blamed for nothing else. It started snowing and Sasha's friend came to pick me up for work in Sasha's car. And Sasha was in the back seat. That was odd because Sasha never lets no one drive her car. I was about to sit in the back, but they both said, no, sit up front. So I did. I noticed her friend was speeding in the snow. I'm in the front seat clutching my pearls. I look at Sasha like, you letting somebody handle your car like this? She never made eye contact with me. They dropped me off at work. Soon as I walked through the doors, I didn't even put my bags up. I get a call from Sasha. Her and her friend got into a car accident right in the same shopping centre I worked at. She sent pictures of the car completely totaled. I rushed to try and get there, but it is snowing and there's sheets of ice. So I'm in the streets, slipping. Sasha texted me and said the fire truck was already there and it got them. So I went back to work. Later that night, they came to pick me up in a brand new car. Sasha bought it as soon as the firemen let them go. So she starts telling the story about how the accident, never getting into any real details. She says she hit her head on the front glass. I asked her how, if she was sitting in the back seat. She never answered. The car was legit smashed in. Picture a strong man crushing a soda can. That's what the car looked like. I asked if they were speeding, because they were speeding to drop me off. No response. Then Sasha said, this is all your fault. If I hadn't picked you up for work, this would have never happened. I honestly believed her. She called her mum and told her what happened. Her mum started screaming and immediately blamed me. I felt so bad, but I snapped out of it so quick. I told myself, no. If homegirl wasn't speeding, they would have never got in that accident. It was not my fault and I had nothing to do with me. Not my burden to carry. The snow was starting to die down. She called my phone and asked if I wanted to hang out. I said, sure. That's how I'm going to start doing your voice now, because now you're really getting on my nerves. I said, sure, I'll come over and hang out. I said, sure. So her and her friend came over and picked me up and we ate at one of the restaurants. When the bill came, her and her friend walked off and went to the restroom, leaving the bill with me. Yeah, leaving the bill with you, boo-boo the fool. They didn't come out until I paid the bill. A few weeks passed by again and I'm starting to prepare for my birthday. I planned my own birthday dinner and everything. Sasha told me I should cancel my birthday because she just got into a car accident and she had to buy a new car. So she didn't have no money for the birthday dinner. She sent me $100 before the accident as a birthday gift anyway, so understandable. I said okay, but I was still going. I don't mind eating alone and I've been doing it this whole time. Her and the same friend came and got me from work one night. When the friend dropped me off, she asked me if I was interested in getting my palm read, and she knew a tarot lady. I replied, no, that's not something I'm interested in. She asked, why? I said, because I think it's demonic. No, thank you. The friend then said, you of all people should be interested with all the things you went through, especially as a child. And she started listing every personal detail about me and what happened to me. And Sasha was in the passenger seat looking guilty as ever. That was when I realized it wasn't Chocolate who exposed my information. It was Sasha. Duh! I said good night calmly and closed the door. She would not lie anymore or blame anyone. The next day, Sasha called me at work. She asked if I wanted her to pick me up from work, and I said no. And the following day was my birthday. I cancelled my dinner reservation and had breakfast instead. Later that night, I went to the movies. That was the first birthday I ever enjoyed since I came to America, and I was by myself. I loved it. I moved here when I was 19. I was now 29. She watched all my stories and didn't say happy birthday until later that day. I never responded. I realized I made my whole life and personality about being a good friend to Sasha, that I wasn't good to myself. And I blocked her number. And I blocked her from being ever able to contact me again. She can't even send me an email if she tried. I deleted all messages, deleted all photos, anything that had her name on it got tossed. I haven't been sick since I parted ways, not even a little sniffle, nothing. I look better and I feel better than I ever did. I immediately looked for another place to live and I didn't let anyone know where I was moving to, not even my family members. I deleted all of my social media platforms so no one will be monitoring me. When I went ghost, one of the worst snowstorms came by and it was tough to get through. A few months passed, it's still cold but bearable. I went to Walmart to get a few items. One of Sasha's close friends who I was acquainted with gives me a call to figure out why we stopped talking. She asked me if it was because of a man, and because I got a man. She asked, or was it because no one showed up to my birthday, letting me know that she was off that day and she could have showed up for me, but she didn't know. I never responded. I could hear Sasha and Joshua in the background. Then she asked, how did I get to work in the snowstorm? And started laughing. I crashed out in the middle of Walmart. I said, you called me months after a storm to ask me if I had a man and a car. I hung up the phone and was waiting on the text because I knew she only called me because she wanted something from me. Then in comes the text. Can you fix my hair? I responded no, then big blocked. Friends, I blocked everyone who was calling me telling me I should talk to Sasha. Absolutely not. I went on my blocked world tour. I blocked family members, enemies, disguises, friends. I got rid of everyone. A clean sweep, everyone had to go. I moved into my new place, a whole new person, no baggage. As I'm getting settled into my new place, I found an old phone. The screen was cracked. So I was about to toss it, but I remembered a repair place was close by and I wanted to see the old photos that were on it. So I go to get the phone fixed. I went to go pick it up. I got home, I opened it, and when I opened it, it was logged into all of Sasha's stuff. Instagram, Twitter, iCloud, you name it. The messages weren't even my old messages. It was Sasha's. It had everything. I examined the phone and it wasn't my old phone. It was hers. I gagged. I was about to log out of everything and toss the phone, but I didn't. I went through everything. All the messages, all the videos, all the everything. I read everything. I watched everything. Messages stating how she was putting things in my food and on my toothbrush to make me sick. Her laughing. To her talking about me not having a car so I won't be able to get to work and laughing. She wanted me to lose my job and my mind. She was hoping I failed. She hated me. She hated me from when we were in high school. Everyone knew this besides me. She was telling people how much she didn't like me, and those same people were the ones calling me and telling me to forgive her. It was a lot. Her mum was so wicked, a real life witch. Her mum inquired about me every single day. Imagine asking about details on someone every day for 9+ years and wanting pictures, knowing you hate them. Her and Melissa were still in contact and they messaged each other often. Melissa was a part of it. Thank God I didn't eat Melissa's food. Her telling everyone back home that I lost my mind and went crazy. The girl was degrading me in every way I could think of. It went into her Instagram messages. Found out she was talking to married men and she was the one who initiated the conversations and sending them nudes in exchange for payment. Yet she told me men only liked me because of my body. Ha! Everything she did to me, she did so purposely and with wicked intent. Her current Instagram content are videos that teach about women empowerment and how to spot narcissists and master manipulators. She posts videos stating, to watch out for a person that does this, that she's done. She talks about her journey with anxiety and depression and how she's navigating through life's ups and downs. Ain't that something? After I read and watched everything, I logged out and I sat and I thanked God for removing me and that I didn't lose my mind or my life in the process for real. Crazy thing is, I wasn't mad at her. I was mad at myself because I'm no dummy. I knew better. From the very beginning, I knew better. I did not trust my own intuition. I happened, so it was no one's fault but my own. So it took me a while to forgive myself. As of today, I haven't been sick since I parted ways. My hair is thick and healthy, no more swollen legs, and I look younger now than I did 10 years ago. And I am my biggest advocate, and I do a lot of solo traveling. Things are going pretty good. Well, I'm really happy for you, Tess. I'm not gonna lie, you've pissed me off this entire video. But I'm not even going to be hard on you because who am I to talk? I forgave my ex-best friend putting shit on the walls, and we already know what happened in the end with that. So I can't even trip on you. Everyone's been in a situation where they're like, why did you just keep... Because like you said, you knew better. Same girl, same. I don't really have much more to add. I've been talking for so long. My mouth is so dry. I'm glad you're in a good space. You guys can send me your stories in. Please don't make them as long as that. And please start sending me stories where we get the lick back, where we get vengeance, where the story ends with people getting thumped down and kicked down and the crowd rejoices. Please, I want some of those stories because all of these sad ending and angriness, don't want to start the year off like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video nonetheless. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.